It's that time of year, I can smell it. It smells like, glue and patent leather. This is the 2025 Air Jordan 11 holiday release. Retroing for the first time, we're getting the Air Jordan 11 Gammas. When you love sneakers in the 2000s and 2010s, one of the most important and exciting releases of the entire year is always the holiday Air Jordan 11 drop. A few weeks before Christmas every year for the last decade or so, Jordan Brand has been giving us one very special Air Jordan 11, and every year it's something different. It could be the Bread 11s, one of those classic OG colorways, or the Space Jams, or maybe the Concords. And no matter what colorway it was or how many pairs they released, Jordan Brand would sell out every single year. In fact, we'd always get these articles saying, oh, Jordan Brand made 1 million pairs this year, and they all completely sold out. But last year, things felt different, which is odd because for the last 2 years before that, we hadn't really gotten OG Air Jordan 11 releases as a holiday release. And last year, we got the Legend Blues, an OG colorway. I mean, I guess to be fair, the 2023 pair was the Gratitudes, which is sort of the Concords, but realistically, it's like the DMPs. It wasn't exactly the same thing. But what I'm trying to say is that the excitement level just wasn't there last year, and pairs ended up sitting on shelves for months, which is crazy to see with a pair of Air Jordan 11s, especially a holiday release Air Jordan 11s, not to mention the fact that it's one of those original colorways. Kind of wild. But why is this happening? Is it because Jordan Brand just isn't as popular as they once were and people are trying a bunch of different brands? Is it because Jordan Brand is giving us like a new Air Jordan 11 every other weekend now? I think it's a mix of all of the above, but I will say that it just didn't have that same sort of special feeling that it's had in years past. Maybe that makes me a hype beast, I don't know, but I'm kind of getting that same feeling this year in 2025, which is really unfortunate. It just feels like Sneaker Christmas, which is what I'm calling this holiday Air Jordan 11 release, isn't as magical as it was. Is that dumb to say? I don't know, that's how I feel. But whether that magical feeling is here or not, regardless, the Gamma 11s are here and they're officially dropping on December 13th for a retail price of $230, which is wild. When you look back at the first Gamma release back in 2013, that pair released for $180. Now, to be fair, 12 years later, it's $50 more expensive for honestly worse packaging. Now, if you want to grab a pair of these before they release, I've made sure to leave affiliate links to this shoe through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. You can also probably pick up a pair there for probably under retail when they actually release. My guess is these probably will sit around like the Legend Blues did, but who knows? Either way though, if you want to grab this exact pair from the review, I'm actually selling this pair on Whatnot this upcoming Monday night. Of course, huge shout out to Whatnot for sponsoring today's content, but if you guys have not heard of Whatnot, Whatnot is a live auction shopping platform with sneaker auctions 24 hours a day, many starting at just $1, like all of the auctions in my streams. This Monday night, in addition to selling the Air Jordan 11 Gammas, I'm also selling some other early pairs of sneakers like the Black Cat 4s, which yes, are unlaced and they are tried on, but this was a pair from the review. It does squeak, just to give you guys a heads up on that. They all squeak. But if you want to grab this pair from the review, it'll be available for sale on Whatnot. I've also just got in a ton of different sizes and a ton of different awesome sneakers. Plus I'm selling pairs from my own personal collection and giving away a bunch of pairs as well because I keep getting these pairs from brands. I can't wear all of them. I'm not gonna sell them, so I'm gonna give them away to you guys. So tune into the Whatnot stream this Monday night. Click that link in the top of the description below to check out what I'm selling and what I'm giving away. If you sign up for Whatnot using that link, you get $15 towards your first purchase. So check it out. It's a blast, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. But before we get any farther into the shoe though, let's first take a look at the box, which like I mentioned earlier, is not as good as the original box, even though this pair is $50 more expensive. I mean, you got inflation, you got tariffs, you got things like that, but still $50 is a lot of money compared to the old box, which is like one of those really nice slide boxes. It had this like really nice sleeve and it had an internal like thing and it had like plastic. It was just really nice. Either way, this time around we get this pretty standard feeling flip top box that comes in, I guess it's like a semi-gloss black with a little Gamma Blue Jumpman there on the top. You've got the 23 in Gamma Blue as well on the side. I mean, I guess you got this little like pull hole, which is something you find on a lot of Air Jordan 11 boxes, also in Gamma Blue. Now, the size that I grabbed is a size 9, which is my true size. I almost dropped the box. And the official name of the colorway is Black, Gamma Blue, Black. Not totally surprising, but hey, there you go. Inside the box, you get anything special? You get paper that looks like carbon fiber. That's it. They've really kind of given up on the packaging for Air Jordan 11s, huh? That sucks. Well, it is what it is. It brings me back to that age-old argument, do boxes really matter? And realistically, I guess not. If you're wearing the sneaker, no one's seeing the box. For me though, the box is a big part of the experience you have when you first get a new pair of sneakers. It's that special like feeling that you get. It's another reason why I feel like holiday 11s aren't as special as they once were. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are a little sad about the box not being as good as it was previous years. But getting back into the sneaker itself, this is the first retro of the Air Jordan 11 Gamma, a colorway which first dropped back in 2013, again for $180. So really now a decent price. Back then it seemed kind of high, but still. This is not an OG colorway, but it still became one of the more popular colorways of the Air Jordan 11s because it kind of had that Space Jam vibe, but with a blacked out midsole. It was like a fully blacked out look, and people were just really into that. In fact, back when I was doing custom sneakers, and well, from like 2009 to 2014, a lot of people would pay me to actually paint their Air Jordan 11 midsoles black before the Gammas were even released. That was something that people had me do a lot, whether it was on like the snakeskin 11 lows or on pairs of Space Jams or on shoes like that. They sometimes had me dye the outsole black and then paint the midsole black, but it was a detail that people really liked on Air Jordan 11s, and so it just makes sense that Jordan Brand gave us this color blocking and this colorway at the time that they did. It's similar to like 2012 when Kanye dropped the Red October Yeezy 2s, and then Nike started dropping like all red Roshis and all red whatevers, and those shoes would still sell out because people wanted all red shoes. In fact, at that point I was doing a lot of all red customs too because people wanted all red shoes. But you can always sort of get an idea of what people are really feeling by looking at what's being customized, because people will ask for these simple customs just because they want their shoes to be a little bit different, but it's kind of like a mod on a car. Like you add carbon fiber here or there and it makes the car just look better. It's the same thing with like blacking out a midsole or making a shoe all red or something like that. But all that to say, at the time, this shoe was hot because people really loved the blacked out look. Now let's talk about the materials that make up this shoe. Obviously, the bottom half of the upper is covered entirely in this glossy black patent leather. Now, as you can see, this pair of Air Jordan 11 Gammas does differ from the original Air Jordan 11 Gammas because it's got the higher patent leather cut, sort of truer to the OG cut, not like we had back in 2013 with that lower cut that almost went all the way down to the midsole. I'll have editor Tim put up a picture side by side of the 2013 pair versus this pair so you can kind of see the difference in patent leather, or maybe he can like overlay it. Not only is the patent leather higher, you've also got defined peaks on the toe and along the side of the sneaker, which again are a detail that's been kind of added to these newer Air Jordan 11s. I guess now it's not even like really newer. We've been having this higher cut patent leather for I think almost 10 years at this point. It's crazy. Beautiful patent leather. It's glossy, it's black. It makes the shoe feel dressier than it is. It's the kind of shoe that you can rock to a wedding, which many people do, or you can just rock it on the court. Doesn't really matter. It's also Michael Jordan's favorite Air Jordan sneaker, I believe. I think Tinker Hatfield's as well, but it's a beautiful pair of sneakers. The Air Jordan 11 in general, beautiful. Now, the reason for the patent leather originally was for added containment and durability along the side of the sneaker, which makes a lot of sense while playing basketball, especially for making quick cuts. So it was functional as well. But either way, it's a classic hit, it's an iconic hit, and makes the Air Jordan 11 feel more special. Much more special than the 9s. I like the 9s a lot, but the 9s do feature patent leather as well, but it just doesn't have that same sort of like, boom, it doesn't hit you in the face the way that the 11s do. And actually, thinking about it now, we're getting a lot of black Jordans this year. We've got the Black Cat 3s releasing on Black Friday, and then a couple weeks later, we've got the Air Jordan 11 Gammas. Honestly, I'm here for it. I mess with black sneakers, and these are all very, very clean, very wearable, and they don't get dirty that easily, so they're great for wearing in the winter as well. The top half of the upper is basically the same as what you had on the 2013 Gammas. You've got black ballistic nylon, you've got black nylon straps holding the laces in place, of course, black rope laces, no extra set of laces inside the box. You've got a black ballistic nylon tongue with that little iconic Air Jordan 11 patch. In this case, it comes in black with a little gamma blue Jumpman, and then the words Jumpman Jordan written in Varsity Maze outside of the Jumpman, which kind of give it this nice contrast on the tongue. And then moving inside the sneaker, you've got black sock liner. Pretty standard feeling sock liner as well. Doesn't feel that much different than any other pair of Air Jordan 11s. And then of course, rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got a black insole with the Varsity Maze Jumpman right there on the heel. It's also a nicely padded foam insole. It actually feels really good underfoot. Speaking of which, the Air Jordan 11 is surprisingly one of the more comfortable retro Jordans. People don't seem to think that that's the case. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they think the patent leather is a little too inflexible. I don't know, not flexible. I'm not sure exactly why they think that, but either way, it's got like a full-length air unit in the midsole, which feels really good underfoot. And while the upper is not the most breathable upper in the world, I guess none of the Air Jordan retro uppers are that breathable, but it's one of the more comfortable Jordan retros. If you haven't tried an 11 before, or you haven't thought about it when you're wearing it, compare it to like an Air Jordan 3. It's a pretty big difference. But now let's talk about sizing and fit. And the Air Jordan 11 Gamma, here comes, fits true to size. What'd you expect? They didn't change it. It's the same fit. If you wear Air Jordan 11s in your true size, then continue buying them in your true size. It's exactly the same. I have regular width feet with a relatively high arch, and they fit me perfectly true to size. So I would suggest going true to size in your Air Jordan 11s. If you do, however, prefer the way that they fit, like going half size up or half size down, grab the size that you usually grab in your Jordan 11s. Moving back on the shoe, you get to this black leather heel area that features one of the more iconic details on any Air Jordan 11, and that's the embroidered Jumpman. Now, on the 2025 release of the Gammas, both Jumpmen face towards the front of the shoes, which means that one of the Jumpmen is backwards. Of course, they come in Gamma Blue, and then moving towards the heel of the shoe, you've got the 23 branding in Varsity Maze, which again creates a nice contrast between the Jumpman. You've got yellow and blue. Very, very nice. And actually, if you want to match your brand new Gamma 11s perfectly, Apothecary is dropping our Gamma 11 socks right around the release date of the Gamma 11s. Specifically designed to match that Gamma Blue detail and also inspired by the traction pattern of the Air Jordan 11s. These brand new Air Jordan 11 socks that again will be dropping around the time of the release of these Air Jordan 11s are fire. I definitely recommend checking them out. if you want a pair of socks that like perfectly match your shoes. Not only that, we're also dropping a ton of other sneaker inspired socks. In fact, we've got the Air Jordan 1 Chicago Low inspired socks on the website right now, the Travis Scott Low inspired socks. A little bit of a sneak peek, we've got the upcoming playoff socks, which I think are just insanely fire. I love these socks so much. We've got socks inspired by the Air Jordan 12 Taxis, a ton of really great pairs that are available right now on apothecary.com. And again, you've got these to look forward to, so check them all out, apothecary.com, and if you use my code Seth, you get $10 off of your first order. Moving back into the sneakers though, and moving away from this absolutely fire combination, continuing down on the shoe, you get to that all black midsole, which I was talking about earlier. It was one of those details that didn't seem like it was a huge change from previous Air Jordan 11s, but it really did make a very large visual difference, and it was a detail that people have been asking for. And I do think it really defines this shoe. It makes this sneaker more unique than I think it has any right to be. I mean, realistically, you look at it, it's pretty similar to a Space Jam, other than that midsole and other than some of the slight differences in blues that you find on the shoe. But I really, really like that hit a lot. Another detail that I like a lot is the fact that the carbon fiber on the medial side and actually running through the bottom of the sneaker is blacked out as well. All black, no color variation. Then getting to the outsole of the sneaker, you've got this smoky blue, semi-translucent rubber with these bright gamma blue pods on the forefoot and on the heel. And of course, you've got the Jumpman in the center in black. I'm surprised they didn't do that in some sort of like varsity maize or up color that popped. I'm surprised they went for a black, but they did. Unfortunately, I think Jordan Brand has kind of ruined my excitement and my magical feeling inside for the holiday Air Jordan 11 release. We've gotten like, I think it's 9 Air Jordan 11s so far this year, or we're getting 9 Air Jordan 11s like around this time. We've got the Mojaves, we've got the H-Towns, we've got the Atlantas, we've got this women's release which just dropped this last week, which I think was like the Pearls or something like that. We're getting a lot of 11s, we're getting these. This pair of shoes is still a really great release. No, I'm not like, oh my gosh, it's the holiday release, this is amazing. But I am like, this is a fire pair of sneakers, and when I can grab it for under retail, I'm going to. Hey, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe this shoe will sell out and maybe it will go for above retail. I don't totally know. My guess is that it's not gonna be impossible to find a pair of these. But I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comment section down below if I was absolutely wrong, and honestly, I might be. I'm just guessing here, I don't know. But outside of my disappointment for Jordan Brand ruining the excitement for this release, I still think this is one of the best Air Jordan releases this year. I think the Air Jordan 11 Gammas is such an easy to wear pair of sneakers. I love the contrasting hits with the yellow and the blue. I think it's just a very, very clean, very wearable pair of sneakers, and releasing in the wintertime is perfect for it because if you mess it up a little bit, scuff it up, or get it dirty, you can't really tell as easily because it's all black. No, it's not an OG colorway, but it definitely is one of the better non-OG Air Jordan releases out there, and I do think that if you're looking for a new pair of 11s or you really like the Gammas, grab them. I even think if you grab them for retail, it's worth it. It's a dope pair of sneakers, and while yes, I'm hoping that I can get them for under retail, if I have to buy them for retail, I will. This particular pair I am selling on Whatnot, so again, click that link at the top of the description below and check it out if you want to grab this pair early, but I am definitely going for a personal, so I'm excited to eventually wear this pair whenever I get it. But hey, at this point, I would love to know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 11 Gamma 2025s. Were you into sneakers back in 2013 when the pair first released? Are you nostalgic for this pair at all, or are you a newer sneakerhead who maybe is just excited about this pair because you've never had it before? Let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, check out the brand new podcast we dropped with Jumperman Chris on the Shoes Off podcast channel. I've linked it in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.